Welcome to Peoria, Illinois, home of the 2022 PDGA Junior Disc Golf World Championships. Coverage brought to you by the PDGA and DoubleG Craft Jerky. I'm Grant Zellner, and we are with the FJ12 division. It's round 4, and we have reached the back 9 at Goodfield Park. Hailey Huber leading the way over Kaylee, Pearson, and MJ Gager. In a tight battle for second, Grace Williams trying to hang on to that 4th spot on the lead card. The back 9 at Goodfield Park. A rerun of the front 9, just 9 holes here. So we'll call it 1B. 311 feet, this par 3. Under a couple of very large guardian trees. It's been a rainy day here during round 4 at Goodfield. And the rain still falling, and falling with vigor. Hailey Huber off the box first, just like we started the day. And a very similar result. MJ Gager locked up with Kaylee Pearson. Gets the full flight there. This is Kaylee Pearson out of Nevada. We'll be a little short with that one, but still an open look at the basket. And Grace Williams. So Grace will lead things off with the approaches to basket number 1. Followed by Kaylee. Solid bid there. Past the basket, a little comebacker to save the par. We move up to Hailey Huber now. Hailey has gapped the field. Also carded 4 birdies during her first loop around Goodfield Park today. Draws metal. We'll have a drop-in par. And now MJ. Par-saving putts to come. First, Kaylee. Just a little short. Grace in for the par. And MJ with the par breaks the tie with Kaylee. The rain has been relentless during this 4th round. Hasn't really gotten any heavier, but also no breaks for the players at all today as we move on to the second. Just 257 feet for this par 3. Plays downhill at the finish fairly considerably. Players needing to control speed more than anything else if they are going to try to get to this basket location. Hailey looking around to the right-hand side of the primary guardian tree. Comes up a little short of it, though, and off to the left. We'll have an open look from there. Downhill putt, though, to MJ. And now Grace. Grace very disciplined with her pre-shot routine. Beyond her years in terms of golf wisdom there. Sticking to the routine, putting the disc out in the open. Now Kaylee Pearson. Very similar result to Hailey's. Grace will be the first to approach from this angle, very steeply downhill beyond the basket. Grace wise to play short. Now MJ. Should be a stress-free par for MJ. Hailey, scary putt. Off the mark, but that disc settles. Hailey. Just a little pitch up. Ooh, little roll. So Kaylee for par. Makes the correction from the first and gets that one up and in. And it's a par frame at the second for our FJ12 lead card. Hole 3, 253 feet. This par 3, sort of a side hill adventure. Low-hanging branches provide a bit of a challenge. And then, of course, another drop-off after the basket, a pretty common feature here at Goodfield Park. Hailey off those branches will be short, likely playing for par. MJ, little slip there, not surprising given the conditions. MJ will have a little work to do. Now Grace needs to erase that slip from her memory. Very controlled there. Beautiful full flight. And now Kaylee. Out and into the open. Everybody with fairly similar approaches here. The longest, though, MJ. Pretty good power there from the standstill for MJ. Goes long of the basket. And Grace scares the basket. Little bit of a roll away. Over to Hailey now. Maybe a chance to run this since it's uphill from this angle. That'll do. little soft up from Kaylee. So everybody once again looking to save the par, starting with MJ. Like a 9-iron, gets that disc to spin back, and it falls into the bottom of the basket. Great putt there from MJ. Now Grace to match. High in the chains, but very soft. Weighed that beautifully. Over to Kaylee. And a drop-in par for Hailey. We move on to the fourth. It starts fairly steeply downhill, then back up at the basket. Just 221 feet, but a lot going on here. Players have a couple of options here off of the tee. Can go around to the left or around to the right. In either case, though, the ground comes up to meet the disc. So a lot more power than meets the eye needed here at the fourth. Hailey Huber airborne, going right at it around the left. The wet grass causing that disc to skip just a little further than it might have, but that's a great circle one look. Now MJ. Also around to the left, doesn't get that disc to turn, and it drifts on MJ. Now Grace. Little body language helped that one out, and that's perfectly judged. Pin high for Grace. Finally, Kaylee, a little bit short off the guardian tree. Now has this approach. Over to MJ, not out of bounds over there beyond the path. Perfect little up thought shot there from MJ. Hailey Huber with the first birdie of the back nine. It came here at the fourth. Now Grace to match. Ooh, just that far away for Grace Williams. KP to save par. Solid putt for KP. Stays within one of MJ. And the foursome is even collectively for the back nine. The fifth, a 231-foot par 3, playing uphill to a well-guarded basket with low ceiling just in front. Another side hill and downhill beyond the basket situation for these players to navigate. And Hailey leads the way yet again. That one a little low. It's eaten up by the hillside. MJ trying to get the full flexing flight. Also will be short. Now Grace. Once again, Grace pin high just to the right of the basket. Now Kaylee. Hailey manages to skip that disc to the top of the hill, so Hailey first to approach. MJ a little short with the upshot there. We'll have some work to do. AP throwing. All right. And Grace with a long birdie look. MJ now to save par. Big putt for MJ there, saving the par here at the 5th, trying to maintain that one-stroke advantage over Hailey Pearson for second. Meanwhile, Hailey Huber in for the par. AP just over the front lip of the basket for the par. And another par frame for our quartet. To the 6th, a 220-foot par 3. Couple of tight gaps off the tee pad, then wide open with the basket tucked just into the tree line here. Players can choose to go around the left or the right of that tree directly in the center of the fairway. Hailey a little too wide to the right, but that'll be okay. MJ, this does look good. Coming into the area around the basket and should be an open putt for MJ. Now Grace. That kick into the thick stuff there on the left. Hailey airborne out to the right, finds the window. Looks like a couple of umbrellas have been put away. Maybe the rain lessening here late in round 4. Hailey, first to throw. Just a little off the mark. Now KP. Grace from the rough. Now Hailey. In for the par is Hailey Huber. Grace with the bogey. Believe we missed Grace's second after that drive went off into the rough. KP in for the par, and now we move to the 8.
My name's Garrett Gerthy. People may know me as DoubleG, and I've been making DoubleG craft jerky since I was 16 years old.
Whether I'm at home or on the road, DoubleG craft jerky is the snack that I go for.
I've actually found myself eating DoubleG craft jerky on my long drives to the next tournament.
We all know DoubleG's got a big arm, but he's also got a big heart. Every bag of DoubleG jerky that you buy supports children's disc golf and goes to a great cause.
You can find DoubleG craft jerky at doublegjerky.com.
Correction, we move to the 7th. The long par 3 at 307 feet. Players have to deal with more or less this branch that we are flying under right here. Or they can choose the airspace out to the left. Either way, this one of the longer holes here at Goodfield Park. MJ coming off of the birdie at the 6th. And off of the branch here at the 7th. Hailey Huber to the open space. We'll have a look. Now Kaylee Pearson. Out and into the open. Grace Williams. Little bit of a pull there, but that should get out and around. No, off the tree. Good kick, though. MJ throwing first. A little high, but the rough actually stops that disc. Out in the distant regions of Circle 1. Now to Grace. A little bit of a pull there and a redirect, so Grace, some work to do. Over to KP. Excellent upshot there from Kaylee and Hailey. Scares the basket. Grace trying to get up and down and save the bogey. That'll do. Now to MJ. Dealing with an awkward stance over here. Buries the par putt. Caddy excited about that in the background. Love it. Hailey also in for the par. I get the impression caddies are usually the ones buying the ice cream after the rounds for their players. Today ought to be the inverse of that, as hard as the caddies are working to keep the players dry here on wet Goodfield Park. Hole 8 is 199 feet, but it's uphill all the way. This is a chance for birdie for most of our players if we can get off the tee with some power. MJ will be first to throw. Missed her line, but that disc finishes up just fine. That was a common place to be during the first loop here around Goodfield. A little short and right. Now our leader, Hailey Huber. Brings that one in the back door, and we'll have that for the birdie. Hailey, a little too much want on that. Yanks it over, but in the open. The 8th, perhaps the most forgiving in terms of missing one's line here. Grace perfectly on line, and we'll have a birdie opportunity. KP first to throw, though. All right. MJ for birdie. Off the front of the cage. Good bid there from MJ. Little smile. Knows that was a good effort. Now Grace. A little short. And Hailey for the birdie. The deuce for Hailey Huber. She is bogey-free thus far on the back nine. KP saves the par. A couple of additional par savers coming up. It should be no surprise players shooting a little better on this second loop around Goodfield than they did earlier in the day on their first loop. In fact, 7 of the 9 holes, players shooting equal to or better on the hole as a group. And we go to the final hole of round number 4, 257 feet. A fun little challenge here, players with some options. They can choose to go straight at the pin or can go wide around the right.
Good round, ladies. Good round. Very good round. You want to get a picture now that the rain has stopped?
The ones who just walk?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay, I was like,
Focus and trust it.
Hailey Huber, our leader, will lead the way here at the 9th. A little bit off to the right. Now MJ. Off to the right as well, but advances just a bit further. AP now staring down the 9th for the second time today as it doubles as our 18th hole. We'll have an open look. And now Grace. Bounces out of that tree. A good kick. Grace has the disc she wants. Really great to get to listen into the conversation between player and caddy there.
140 to 131 and 135 every time we play.
Solid upshot there from Hailey through the gap. We'll have a putt to save the par. Now MJ. Catches the Guardian tree over to KP. This for birdie. Off the base of the pole, we'll have a drop-in par to finish up round 4. MJ playing quickly. Now Grace. Into the shadow of the basket. And Hailey. Tickles the chains. Hailey will settle for the bogey, but has plenty to work with here, as we have reached the downhill side of this major championship. An inspiring round of golf from our FJ12 division. This is the future of the sport. And the future appears to be in very, very good hands. Hailey Huber out to a commanding lead. Kaylee Pearson and MJ Gager right where they started in a tight battle for second. Grace Williams doing a great job as part of our lead quartet. More coverage coming from the PDGA. Thanks for watching.